Good old Wade Wilson and Logan are back together again in Deadpool Wolverine #1. This cover is so terrible. So, our story starts out with these two guys. They work for this organization called One. And One is kind of like this mutant policing organization. I've never heard of them personally, but they're a thing apparently in the Marvel Universe. And they are at this shield like storage facility. They're basically kind of cataloging all like the mutant related stuff, and they're kind of looking through some stuff here and there, trying to find out what they can find. Eventually, they find this giant cement coffin looking thing with chains around it. They break it open, and it turns out to be a box made of adamantium. More like a refrigerated box made of adamantium. Something's inside of it, and it ends up killing one of the people who is looking through the box. Then, of all places, we jump to northern Minnesota, where there's a Nordic mafiosa funeral for the Nordic mafia. Somebody high up has apparently died, RIP. But who happens to show up? Deadpool. And Deadpool is looking for something specific. He's looking for a set of dentures. This dentures used to be a sword owned by the legendary Viking Eric the Red. And Deadpool wants these chompers to basically get some money, because apparently Deadpool is low on funds. And he ends up getting what Deadpool wants. He gets his nice set of chompers. Then after Deadpool makes his glorious getaway from the Nordic Mafia, we end up in Canada, where Wolverine is doing his Wolverine thing, drinking beer and being alone at a bar in Canada. You know how it is. Sadly, this young mutant is getting provoked by these unruly bar patrons, and stuff happens to go awry. Wolverine gets involved, but luckily Deadpool shows up, kills the bad guys, and he's like, hey, we got a job. Let's go. So Wolverine reluctantly goes on this mission with Wade. He has no idea what exactly is going on, but they've chartered like a plane or a helicopter, I believe it is. And Wolverine starts to suspect something is wrong, because one, Wade never shuts up. As you know, we all know, Wolverine has known Wade for a very long time, and Deadpool never shuts up at all. And this is very concerning to Wolverine, because he's like, what's exactly going on? What's going on with Wade? Wade is very much like a man on a mission, and they end up in this cemetery next to a couple of graves. Come to find out, these graves are decoys, and they're just there to basically hide this underground bunker that's in a cemetery. And when Wade basically gets the retinal scanner going, we hear this word said, executioner, which, if you know what executioner is, you haven't heard that in quite some time when referring to an X-Men comic or a specific X-Men character, Wolverine also, too, gets suspicious, like I did, and he thinks Wade is being mind controlled, which that's actually the case. Wade is being mind controlled, and Wade knows nothing of what is going on. While Wolverine is looking around in this bunker of all places, he sees this vial called Legacy Reborn, which I'm guessing is probably the Legacy virus. And Wade is coming to his senses. He doesn't know what's going on. Lo and behold, Maverick shows up. Of all people, Maverick shows up. And he apparently is working for the Organization One, and he has been tracking them and their movements. Lo and behold, Deadpool gets mind controlled again, and he takes out Maverick, goes away, and we find out our big bad for issue 1, or going forward, is Strife, the clone of Nathan Summers, aka Cable. Alright, so let's look at the internal artwork. Just gotta say, do not let this cover deceive you. This is a variant cover by Frank Miller. This cover is not very good, to be honest. But the artwork in the internal artwork is a lot better in this. I feel like this artwork definitely sets the mood for what you're gonna get. It's pretty ridiculous, like all this all the stuff that they do in this. It very much does set the tone with, like, Wolverine. And so I really like this depiction of Deadpool. I feel like they draw Deadpool very well. And we get a very nice gory, like, this is definitely, like, the artwork definitely fits the series, or this first issue, very well. We get a nice juxtaposition between Wolverine and Deadpool. Like, Wolverine's very much the straight man, and Deadpool is not the straight man, or I should say, he is the somewhat straight man because he actually is not himself for half the issue, going forward. But yeah, the artwork is solid. It's definitely, it's top notch, I feel like. So let me give you my thoughts on Deadpool Wolverine #1. It was a lot of fun. It very much feels like, I don't say like a continuation, or it reminds me a lot of the Cable Deadpool series that we had back in the early 2000s. You very much could slot out Wolverine and bring in Cable in this instance. I do feel like story-wise, this first issue took a little bit to go momentum-wise because it felt like it took some time to get Deadpool and Wolverine in the same like vicinity, story-wise. But once Deadpool and Wolverine got together, things kind of fell into place, and the story really definitely got going in a sense. It very much left me with a bunch of questions that I had. I gotta be honest, I didn't pick up on the fact that Strife was gonna be the big bad guy in this, even though they mentioned like Executioner and like the Legacy Virus or Legacy Reborn or something, whatever they want to call it, was hinted at in this first issue. Wolverine, I guess, thought the same. He didn't remember really as well. But all in all, it was a good first issue. Now, Strife isn't my favorite X-Men villain, to be honest. He kind of somewhat seems a little bit out of place, because I always thought Strife was kind of like a Cable bad guy, and like Cable's nowhere to be seen in this. And what does he want with Deadpool? I have no idea, but Deadpool is now working for Strife or something, or mind controlled by Strife. Like, I think the last time I ever saw Strife was when they had that Cable X-Force crossover. Was it second? No, it wasn't Second Coming. It wasn't Messiah Complex. Oh, I forget what it was called. It was in between Messiah Complex and no, it was in between Second Coming and Messiah Complex, I think it was. Was it Messiah War? I don't remember. That was kind of my only complaint was, oh my God, they're bringing back Strife of all people. Um, I don't know if Strife really works nowadays, to be honest. Um, he's kind of just a dried up 90s villain in my personal opinion, but maybe this first issue after going forward will prove me wrong in the fact that maybe Strife has become a cool character. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what happens going forward in this. The tone is actually really good. Like, I love the bantering between Deadpool and Wolverine. The comedy's on points. There's a bunch of action and stuff and violence, which is always a good thing with Wolverine and Deadpool, you know? But yeah, that's the only thing I complain about is I don't really like Strife as a character, but like I thought this was well written as a comic book and it made me laugh a bunch. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do y'all think of this first issue? Let me know what you think about this horrible cover. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. I'm a Talkie Mike. I'll catch you on the next video.